And welcome, everybody, to the first round of the NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Championships between the St. Thomas Celts and the Occidental Tigers. Got about 4 minutes as we go through intros and everything else, and we'll come back on here in just a few. I just wanted to welcome everybody in as we get settled. This one originally slated for over an hour ago, previous match, going to double overtime and then to penalty kicks, where Trinity defeated the University of Texas Dallas Comets, advancing into tomorrow's second round game, 9-8 in penalties. So the winner of this one will get Trinity, and we will be back, take you through the starting lineups, and get underway, as we have been impatiently waiting for this one between St. Thomas and Occidental, back here in just a few. All right, and let's get you taken through the starting lineups for Occidental as they come in. 13-3-3 winners of the SCIAC. 8-1-3 tournament champions. And Oxy will have Marcus Chmielewski, Vincent Navarro, Aiden Alley, Joey Schwartz, Yuri Diane, Ethan Carr, Sebastian Romero, Lucas Howlett, Evan Karp, and Max Stanley. In goal, Riley Nyan. And for St. Thomas, winners of the SCAC tournament, coming in as the 4 seed in the SCAC conference. They won it at home. Had a 5-3 record in conference, 11-3-1 overall. And they will field Juan Gomez, Diego Lazo, Angel Ramirez, Tati Aleman, Daniel Castro, Ian Alvarez, Tony Castro, Elijah Flores, Johan Bernard Lee, and Italo Rodriguez. Gustavo Otero will be in goal for the Celts. And that should get us underway in the rain here in San Antonio, where it has been raining since about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Off and on, more often on. And it has been a drizzle, it has been a downpour. And the first match was played fairly well under those conditions, so hopefully this pitch will hold up for this one the same way. St. Thomas will be in the gray, and they will go from right to left across your screen. Occidental in the all black with the orange trim. And just about ready to start here from San Antonio, NCAA men's first round. And we'll get those graphics off of your screen here momentarily. Just about ready for this one. I am joined alongside Callum Squires. Callum back at the Division III level here for the day.
Always good to be back here, Josh. Great to be on the Tiger Network, also known as D3SPN, as we like to call it, and it's looking forward to this one. I mean, these are two teams who have been highly competitive in this West region. As that shot comes in immediately, what a hit that was. Ethan Carr not waiting to pull the trigger for Occidental there, but as I was saying, these are two teams who have been highly competitive throughout the season. St. Thomas obviously winning the SCAC in a penalty shootout last weekend, and Occidental themselves having to go through numerous challenges to win the SCIAC. And as we are underway here, we're fixing the score bug real quick. Currently says 2-2, but it is 0-0. We've just kicked off. But St. Thomas coming down that right-hand side, looking to put some pressure on the Tigers immediately. The Celts of St. Thomas, based in Houston, will be looking to try and advance to play Trinity for the third time this season. And Occidental looking to get themselves a date with the hometown Tigers tomorrow.
Dueling Tigers, if it were.
Wouldn't be surprised if that is what we end up with, but the Celts will have something to say about that. They are a scrappy and feisty team. But the Celts are on the back foot early on here. And that's another shot coming in. That one from Markus Chmielewski, the senior from Warsaw, Poland. And that one flies wide of the right-hand post.
For St. Thomas, we have seen them a few times here in Texas. They are led up front by Tati Alaman and Diego Castro, two very prolific offensive players.
Yeah, Alaman, you know, his record in the SCAC speaks for himself. He has a lot of talent if he gets a chance in front of goal, and he will punish you. So this Occidental back line will have to be alert at all times as Evan Karp brings that one forward for the Tigers. Trying to get the ball down the right-hand side in the direction of Max Stanley, but unable to do so. Vicente Navarro is pressured and just about keeps playing until it's nicked off him, and Alaman bounces off a tackle, and coming the other way at St. Thomas with Tony Castro. Onto his right foot, Alaman makes a run across him. Chance to the back post, but hooked away by Lucas Howlett. That one swung into the box and has to be dealt with by Sebastian Romero. Drops for a chance for Alaman. Swing and a miss there on the first shot. And hacked away by Joey Schwassington.
Oxy winners of the SCIAC, Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. They have brought the atmosphere today.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, that drum's going to drive me crazy in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to be absolutely, completely honest there. But the drum, it appears, will be going all game long.
Take the drum over the Vuvuzela.
You really would?
I would take the drum over
the drum over the Vuvuzela. I don't know.
I just, you know, I've having had issues with bees and wasps in the past, just PTSD for me. And, I can get into this. It's starting to feel like a USL game here.
That one, no foul given initially, and then a bit of a soft one that it looked like for me. I think there was Chmielewski trying to get in behind again. Or in fact, it was actually... Who was that? Aiden Ailey, in fact. From Ross, California. That's swung across to the far side by Diego Lazo, but out of play. St. Thomas threatening a little bit with that one scrappy chance for Alaman, but not really putting too many passes together here in the early goings.
Yeah, and Occidental looking pretty stout in their last 3, all shutouts. Wins over Laverne, Kowloon, and Redlands on their way to winning the tournament title. The 2 teams do have a common opponent in Texas Lutheran, and Texas Lutheran defeating Occidental early on in the season, counting for their first loss of the year. They started off 0-1-1 before really getting going this year. And Texas Lutheran, a team that fell to the hands of St. Thomas in a memorable game, as one might.
Yeah, we'll probably leave it at that.
Exactly.
Memorable, shall we say. And we'll, yeah.
And it has been a bit of a change since that game, and there were a handful of red cards in that game, and coaching changes made after St. Thomas having to battle through a lot of differences since mid-October. Not the same team that started in September necessarily, and still finding themselves in after winning the conference.
That was nice play there by Uri Janae as he tried to wriggle his way through. But Janae dragged his shot wide, and yeah, Josh, you're right. I mean, if you've been following the D3 soccer landscape, you'll know about some of the incidents that have happened this past season. But on a game like this, it's anyone's game tonight, and we'll see exactly what happens.
The last time we saw, it was probably 2 weeks ago now, had St. Thomas in a pretty big game to see who might make the tournament, as Oxy might have a chance here, and coming out in goal, coming out from his line in goal, making a fantastic save, was Gustavo Otero.
So St. Thomas in the grey, playing from right to left, trying to build out of the back, but Occidental have had a fast start here in slippy conditions in San Antonio. That one was poked round the corner, and coming onto it is Ethan Carr. Well tackled back there by Italo Rodriguez. And St. Thomas will continue to build out. Occidental, though, fighting hard. Max Stanley finds Carr again, and that's the first tackle that's really drawn the referee's attention as Diego Lazo clattered into his man there. First real kind of sticking point there. And Occidental in their black and orange striped uniform, playing from left to right on your screen. Trinity already through, having won a penalty shootout tonight, and they await the winners of this one. Swung in by Schwartz. Occidental able to keep the pressure on as Stanley again sweeps that up. Schwartz towards the back post, looked like a push, and indeed that one is awarded by the referee for the foul. That was Sebastian Romero, adjudged to have committed an offense there. Free kick will be launched forward, but not a great free kick there from the Celts. It'll come back the other way. Schwartz able to get on the ball, receiving it nicely from Ailey. Gianni again trying to cause some issues, and that one's hammered downfield, and Aleman won't even chase that lost cause, as St. Thomas are happy to play from the back in that way.
Evan Carp will send it deep. Occidental here early on, first 10 minutes, really taking a lot of the primary possession.
They've started well, and I think in a game like this where you know it's going to be physical, you know it's going to be contentious, it's definitely not a bad thing for Occidental to be able to control the possession here early on. Gianni, he's looked dangerous early on. St. Thomas happy really just to clear the halfway, but it's coming back immediately as Occidental look to play. This is Carp over to Romero. Got Navarro sitting in front of them in that traditional number 6 role, and helpfully wearing number 6 on his chest. Stanley finds Carp again, but that one's just going to evade Carr on the right wing.
Be a throw here, and Mike Stanley will do the honors. Just throw into the 18. Clearance for the moment.
That one was toward Chmielewski, and Gianni has to track this one back. Faced with Italo Rodriguez, and Gianni does very well. Shot comes in from outside the box, and I do think Riley Nyhan in the goal was scrambling just a little bit there, the junior from Seattle, Washington, but eventually just about able to let that one go past his right-hand post.
Diego Lazo sending that one from about 25 yards out, and not uncommon. We've seen that a few times in the matches that Trinity played against St. Thomas.
Here's Gianni, clattering tackle, but it falls forward, looking for Ailey. Here comes St. Thomas on the counter. Ball being carried a long way there by Johan Bernard Lee. Occidental back in a good defensive shape, though. That one's fired over to this left-hand side where Ian Alvarez tracks it down. That's a ball in towards Aleman, but well swept up by Occidental. Here's Chmielewski now, chance to use his pace. He has Gianni through the middle. Chmielewski taking on his man and driving towards the end line. Juan Gomez is with him. The cutback towards Gianni, and that's swept out of play and will be an Occidental throw.
Your screen has a bit of a haze. Not really that hazy here, but more so just the camera refracting off of the rain that is coming down.
Not been a great weather day in San Antonio. I'm sure the Californians who are in visiting Texas were expecting a little bit more sunshine, but you get rain and you get drama, and you probably get a few slips here at the Paul McGinley Field tonight. Carr, lovely close control, turning away, trying to find Stanley and Chmielewski ahead of him, but unable to connect. Carr dragging at his man, but that's well played there by Daniel Castro, charging through the middle, and great recovery there from Schwartz. St. Thomas come again. Alvarez to Gomez. That goes all the way across to Angel Ramirez. And now they come down their right-hand side. Schwartz tracking back for the Tigers. Juan Gomez in the midfield offering, but this one comes out instead to Ian Alvarez on the left-hand side. Carr tries to cover, but Italo Rodriguez will drift inside onto his right foot, but the pass can't connect with Tati Aleman. And Gianni has tried to be released down the middle. He clearly has a lot of pace. You can see early on from his first couple of steps. If he gets in behind, they won't catch him. St. Thomas keeping a clean sheet as of now.
Deep throw in their own end.
Gianni, and here's a chance on his pace. Driving at the back line. Jeff Flores has to come over. Gianni into the box. Chance for Occidental, but he's just overrun it. And Gustavo Otero is able to be the hero, sweeping that one up. But you can see immediately the danger that Uri Gianni can pose for Occidental tonight. St. Thomas high line was caught out there as Otero chips one to the right-hand side, and St. Thomas attempting to play out from the back as of now. Schwartz found a ball inside, and Ailey to the byline. Great recovery again by the Celts to steal that one away. That one is going to be a goal kick. St. Thomas able to relieve a little bit of the pressure.
In for the Celts goes number 30, Diego Garcia.
Scoreless here, 17 minutes into the game. That one's cleared downfield and intercepted nicely by Carr. Be a throw in for St. Thomas in their left back position.
Oxy leading 4 shots to 2, 2-0 shots on goal. Neither team has taken a corner, neither have been called for offside so far.
Nice close control by Daniel Castro, but he was unable to find one of his teammates, though he does get the ball back here off the toe of Ailey. Castro dances through a couple tackles and looks for Aleman in behind. Question of offside, he gets past Romero, and that one is hammered clear by Stanley.
Well done from Castro. You can see why consider him to maybe be their offensive MVP, even with Aleman in the lineup. Creates a little bit more out in the open field.
Lovely feet there from Schwartz. Here is Carr again, and he's got Stanley in open space to the right-hand side. Alvarez has to try and close him down, but Stanley goes past him, though does manage to draw a foul with that tug from behind by Ian Alvarez.
Second foul for St. Thomas that'll level them with Occidental with 2.
This one looks like it will be swung in by Joey Schwartz, senior from Highland Park, Illinois. Right-footed. Slightly too much bend away from the goal on that one, and no one able really to attack it. Navarro. That one's sent forward again. This one, really hard to play a straight ball like that in behind. Just so easy for in these wet conditions it to skid off the surface and just behind for a goal kick as it did there. You almost need a little bit more of an angle on that one. Goal kick for the Celts. Interesting that Otero will not be taking the goal kick, and instead Angel Ramirez looks like he will, but instead they play it short and Ramirez can bring it out of his box before doing essentially the same thing and hammering it downfield. Castro wins the header, able to control it again. But St. Thomas turn it over. Chmielewski coming the other way. Under pressure from Lazo, but he finds Schwartz on the left-hand side. Jane ahead of him, and running through the middle is Chmielewski again. Here is Jane. Back to Schwartz. Nice idea on that pass, but Castro intercepts. He has a little bit of space to run into now. Aleman through the middle, and that's where it goes. He takes it on his chest, and he looks for Castro, who'd made himself a diagonal forward run, but well swept up by Howlett. Castro looked like he'd fouled Schwartz, and indeed he did. But I mean, that should be a yellow card. He's throwing the ball away. Stoppage maybe, referee having a conversation, but by the letter of the law, Castro threw the ball in completely the wrong direction. Probably should have been a yellow card.
To see if that affects how he manages the rest of this game for the center official. Seems to show a little bit of leniency here early on.
Yeah, we didn't see many cards in the Trinity against UT Dallas game earlier, despite that being competitive and at times chippy. So we'll see if this referee is able to get through this one with similar strict discipline. High challenge there, penalized as Joey Schwartz was trying to challenge.
And you'd like to let them play as much as possible because the cards do build up here in the postseason, and you don't want somebody missing off of accumulation of yellows.
No, you do want to let them play, but equally, you know, player safety has to come first. Looks like we're getting our first substitution of the game for Occidental. And wow, that's going to be a corner for St. Thomas as I try and figure out exactly how to pronounce this name in front of us. Tyler Nanakorn-Panom. I think I've done a decent job there. From Tujunga, California. Nanakorn-Panom. I'm going to get that wrong a few times. But he is checking in for Occidental in a couple of minutes here. Corner for St. Thomas, and Diego Lazo is going to swing this in with his right foot. Two hands in the air. Chance for the Celts. In towards the near post. Castro looked like he was the man who got there first. And interesting that Riley Nyhan made a very deliberate move towards the near post there and did not get there. But no harm done as Nanakorn-Panom checks in and replaces Chmielewski.
Right around the halfway mark here of the first half.
Not unusual to see coaches start going to their bench after about 20-22 minutes, and certainly, you know, what will be very noticeable for both these two teams is that by the time this game finishes, it will be nearly 10 p.m. local time. They're going to be late in bed. They've got to try and get some food after this game and recover for the game tomorrow against Trinity, and that's where the home advantage, being able to pick the earlier game time, plays into the Tigers' hands. Speaking of the Occidental Tigers, here is Howlett on the ball. Schwartz playing a nice ball to Carr, and that one's looped forward in the vicinity of Schwartz again, who tries to bundle his way forward, and it was swept away by Jeff Flores.
Yeah, nearly a handball, and I believe that would have gone against Occidental, but played out now for the Tigers' throw.
Throw in from Schwartz, who's launched a couple long ones already today. Towards the near post, flicked up rather than out. Stanley able to chase it down. Can he turn on it? And he's actually going to be called for the foul there after what looked like a tug on Ian Alvarez. So, nearly 25 minutes played here. Fairly docile so far. Not a whole lot of goal mouth action. Certainly Occidental with the better chance. Jane running at the back line, but unable to really test Otero in the goal. Here is Castro, though. We know how dangerous he can be. Castro dancing, but poked away from him. He dives straight into that tackle. Very aggressive style of play from Castro. Swings it to the far side. That's Diego Garcia, who's into the game at left back. Here's Garcia on the ball again. It's a nice play in the middle from Juan Gomez. On the far side, Johan Bernard Lee. As St. Thomas here attacking the box, trying to get to the end line. But really nice defending there from Lucas Howlett just to shepherd that one out. And it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, nice job. Bernard Lee's got a good set of, he's got some good speed on that far side right now. And he plays very well under control. Normally doesn't have the ball played out too far away from him.
Andrew Notter from Amsterdam, Netherlands, wearing number 9 for Occidental, is about to join us and join the festivities. Running in the back line here is Ailey. Tried potentially to find Janet. Didn't succeed in doing so. And St. Thomas making a change as well as Daniel Espinoza will come into the game.
The second Dutchman to take the pitch today.
Ailey will take a break here. And Notter comes in. So the Celts and Tigers in a stalemate so far, which will see if we can get an opening goal here in the last 20 minutes before half-time. Hacked clear by Otero. Out on the far side. Schwartz leaves it. Karp tries to reverse it to Schwartz and succeeds in doing so. Howlett looking to find Vicente Navarro, but unable to do so. And Occidental happy to possess with their back four as they try and find a way to build forward here. Given away, and St. Thomas will try and capitalize on the quick turnover. Aleman, though, a long way from the goal, and if you're Occidental, you don't mind him playing the ball deep inside his own half as he was there. Ian Alvarez unable to control it, and it looks like there's a stoppage just for a correction of where the throw is being taken from, which felt perhaps a little bit overzealous from the official there.
Point of contention, we saw that a bunch in the first game, really trying to make sure that they get as close to that mark where the ball is played out as possible. Don't really see it that much in the regular season games. But
interesting point of emphasis perhaps from this officiating crew here tonight. Romero came through the back there and did foul Aleman. St. Thomas will see if they can capitalize on some set piece opportunities. That one's driven across field. Ian Alvarez trying to sneak in behind. Stanley did well. Romero is able to clear. Half-hearted appeals for handball from St. Thomas. Garcia tried to play it inside, and the Tigers are able to nick it. And that'll be a free kick after a late challenge there by Diego Lazo. Ball had clearly gone, and he lashed out with his boot. We're going to get another change for Occidental as Kai Fiedelholtz will come in here, wearing number 7, junior from Brooklyn, New York. Fiedelholtz will join us very shortly here. 16.5 minutes to play until the break in what has been a uneventful first half an hour, shall we say.
it started off with a lot of promise.
Yeah.
First 10 minutes was very fast-paced. Both teams making some pretty good attacks, and then they have settled in. A lot of action around the midfield.
Carr trying to find the ball to Notter, but Notter is unable to corral it, and St. Thomas steal it away. Schwartz pressuring Espinoza. The Celts settling down into a bit more of a rhythm. Angel Ramirez at the back for them. But here's Jane, who's been dangerous so far, brushes off one challenge and now looks to see if he's got an overlap. That's swung into the box, but behind both Occidental runners in the middle, Nana Kornpanom and Notta had made front post runs, basically, and that left no one on the edge of the box. Diego Lazo back to Garcia, and on from Flores to Otero. Otero will look to return it to Garcia. I think he's overcooked that one, and indeed he has, right into the St. Thomas bench. Here comes that change as Uri Jane, who's been the most dangerous player so far for Occidental, will take a break, and Kai Fiedelholtz will come in. That one is skewed, not cleared out. And the Celts have to recycle it and try and move it forward. That's great pressure from Schwartz. Somehow, Aleman's still able to settle it down and keep possession until his pass goes astray. And you can see the frustration there on the face of Tati Aleman.
St. Thomas held scoreless in their last time out in the SCAC championship against Trinity.
Into the back post is Schwartz, and that one's really well defended. And that'll be a corner for the Tigers. Sorry to cut across you there, Josh.
No worries. Held scoreless in their last match for 90, but they did play 85 minutes of that, plus the 20 minutes of overtime, a man down. So, you know, that drastically changes what, you know, offensively you're going to be able to do. They still had quite a few offensive opportunities in that match, and then eventually took that on PKs. But as we draw now 30 minutes into this one scoreless, the last time that they had put a goal in actual play was against Colorado, who happens to be the #1 team in the region.
Swung in by Notta. That looks like there might be an offside there, but instead it goes through to Otero.
Oxy with another sub getting warmed up.
Diego Cavelli from Lima, Peru, about to come in. Love to see that. Got to cheer for my internationals, right, Josh? You know, don't see many Peruvians. Exciting to see what Diego Cavalli can bring to this one. First-year defender. Aleman with a very nice first touch, but he loses out. Navarro trying to fight with him, and he does. Schwartz with a wonderful no-look pass in the direction of Fiedelholtz. There's some nice touches in the midfield there from Joey Schwartz.
Yeah, Division III soccer, particularly the West region, has been an international affair for probably the last 20 years. Quite a few teams filling out a good handful of their rosters from abroad. It is strange to see Oxy doing it from, like, you know, like a world tour.
Yeah, all corners of the world. Guinea, Poland, the Netherlands, Hawaii, and Peru. St. Thomas coming forward, but give it away. Tackle from behind there. Potentially will be punished, and indeed they bring it back. This should be a yellow card, really. I mean, it's a tackle from behind. The ball got away, but Diego Garcia definitely lunged in, and indeed does receive a yellow card with 11.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Mentioned it earlier, one game really helped that cause, but St. Thomas, one of the most carded teams in Division III. I think even if you go back through and take away their game against TOU, it's still a pretty staggering amount. They're up there at the top of the leaderboard.
Free kick here to be taken by Karp. He finds Carr as the two similarly named Tigers play out from the back. That's towards Fiedelholtz. Chance here, Notta, and what a save from Otero. Really good chance that. Whites of the eyes for Andrew Notta with Otero, and Otero made the save to keep this level at 0-0.
Yeah, Otero really hasn't been challenged in the past 20 to 25 minutes, and he comes up without missing a beat on that one.
Counter-attack for St. Thomas. Daniel Castro, the keeper's come a long way. Daniel Castro goes round the keeper and finds the net. And from absolutely nothing, the University of St. Thomas, with pretty much their first attempt on goal, I think it's technically their second shot on goal, but really the first threat they've shown. And it's Riley Nyhan's decision to come out that's been punished brilliantly, you must say, by Daniel Castro. A great touch around the keeper, and he fires it in at the near post. And as Occidental huddle up, they find themselves a goal down, and the Celts of St. Thomas now have something to defend as they look to set up round 3 with Trinity tomorrow night.
Yeah, Castro, we mentioned it early on, just absolutely electric offensively. Combination of him and Aleman at the top is one of the most deadly, I think. I'd put it up against almost anybody in Division III that they have to offer. Those two are just absolutely brilliant at the top there. And you see that one, Castro off the counter. Fantastic. Draws the keeper all the way out, and then from a tough angle, slots it in.
Castro gives the Celts the lead. Oxy will have to find a way to recover here. I think they've definitely been the better team so far, but unable to find the goal. Otero making a couple of big saves, and St. Thomas have the lead.
We talked about how it had been a while since the Celts had scored. We mentioned also 3 consecutive shutouts for Occidental, and that now with the crooked number here on the board.
They've got to find a way to score twice if they want to win this one. Diego Lazo plays that away from Nana Kornpanom, and Jeff Flores recycles it through Angel Ramirez out to the far side, where Bernard Lee can bring it forward into Lazo in the middle. And St. Thomas now starting to play a little bit of football, building some confidence. Castro. He gets it back, gliding through the middle. He is a classy looking player. Aleman unable to just get to that. Castro does manage to recover it from Navarro. And he keeps possession well, as the Celts and the Tigers both starting to slip a little bit here on this slick turf. Christian Corcoran about to check into the game for Occidental. St. Thomas with this early 1-0 lead. 9 minutes to go until half-time. Garcia into the box. That one bounces through, and Aleman will try and chase it down. Looks like he will keep it in play. Celts attacking the box again. Chance for another shot potentially. It goes back out wide to Aleman. He fires a shot, and that one is into Riley Nyhan's midriff with no real help. Stanley down the right-hand side. Great ball that is. Nana Kornpanom, chance to attack the box. He squares it, but Angel Ramirez is in the right place at the right time. They had Fiedelholtz coming in behind, but unable to do anything with it. That one is hammered goalwards and just dipping over the bar. I mean, Diego Cavalli stepped into that one and swung his leg through it, but it did drift just over the bar. Otero was not sure. And there's the aforementioned change with Christian Corcoran from Derbyshire, England, coming in to replace Howlett at left back.
Yeah, Cavalli with an excellent strike from about 35 yards out. Almost drawing this one level. Montero not going to take the goal kick here.
St. Thomas building from the back again. They are committed to trying to play out when they're being pressed by Occidental, and that time the press from Cavalli is just a little bit too aggressive, and a free kick for the Celts.
Foul on Oxy, and slamming in frustration. Fiedel Holtz.
Josh, I think it's interesting. Oxy only registering, one shot on goal so far, but having created a number of good chances. They're going to bring Sam Jenkins into the fray for the last 6 minutes of this half. But the Celts were clinical when they had their chance, and that is half the battle in the NCAA tournament, is taking your chances when you get them. Here come the Celts again. That one is just turned away from Castro, who was looking to pounce again. Shot coming in. And Daniel Espinoza really got a hold of that. Credit Nyhan for reading it well and being able to keep a hold.
Yeah, St. Thomas, like you said, they haven't created a ton of opportunities. But when they get the chance and they get just a little bit of space, a lot of talent, a lot of ability to just put that on frame.
Navarro unable to stop Garcia, but Stanley is there to sweep up and cleared away by Karp. This one drops to the edge of the box, and Lazo. Espinoza feeds it out to the right-hand side for Bernard Lee. Looks like St. Thomas themselves about to make a couple of changes.
And Daniel Castro and Aleman, nearly 40 goals between them.
That's a lot of goals by anyone's standards. Stanley clears that one downfield, and St. Thomas will be able to reset with a throw on this left-hand side. So it looks like Aleman and Lazo will come out. Matthew Turner, number 24, is in, and Leonardo Mansur, number 9, from Sao Paulo, Brazil, is also in for St. Thomas. Turner on and off it quickly, wearing the captain's armband is Turner. It's a good leap from Mansur. And Gomez. There's Turner again, looking with immediate decisiveness to try and go forward. Mansur can't quite get that. Turner is clattered there, to be fair to him. And he is definitely... Well, it's interesting. He got up quite quickly after that. But a yellow card was issued, it looked like, to Andrew Notta, number 9. But Turner did bounce up very quickly.
Yeah, that was a lot of rolling on the ground pain to jumping up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Particularly as the yellow card was being drawn.
Looks to be okay now, Turner, thankfully. And Ramirez looks like he's going to take the free kick. Discussion from the St. Thomas coaching staff of trying to stop the counters. That one's turned away. Here is Navarro with a chance to try and do just that. But it's intercepted by Bernard Lee, who is so shifty despite his diminutive frame. Espinoza in towards Mansur with a poke round the corner. Stanley clears that one away from Flores, who had stayed forward. Under 4 minutes till halftime here. St. Thomas and Occidental. Far side is Bernard Lee. Whips that one in. Karp had to cut it out. Shot comes in from outside the box and the keeper does spill it. Mansour made a good contact on that. Naihan not quite able to hold on first time, but gets the job done. Karp bringing it out from the back. Has Max Stanley down this right-hand side. Occidental continuing to play their football to their credit. They haven't been bothered and haven't changed their ways since the St. Thomas goal against the run of play. Romero out to the left-hand side, and that is Corcoran. He drives one into the near post, and Ramirez was in the right place at the right time to take that one away, and Otero didn't have to deal with it. Throw in coming from Jenkins. Potentially another long one for the Tigers. Jenkins. Castro doing his defensive duty and wins that one. Here's Corcoran. Sliding tackle, and the Celts trying to clear that one away. They do now off the head of Ian Alvarez. Stanley back to Karp. Mansour will press him. Stanley able to control. That was Cavalli. Stanley keeps it in, or doesn't, and ends up pretty much running into that St. Thomas bench. Good to see he's back on the field and okay. Shot there. Notta didn't get a hold of it. Corcoran wins that. That looked like a high foot, and indeed it is. Foul.
Excellent defensive tackle there from Diego Garcia. Stop the advancement of Fiedelholtz.
Here's Navarro.
1 minute.
Tries to poke it through the middle. Fiedelholtz slid in. That one is maybe one of the weirdest shot/tackles I've ever seen, as Christian Corcoran somehow managed to win a corner for Occidental, and this will probably be the final action of this first half with just over 30 seconds to play, and Occidental loading the box, trying to crowd Otero in his goal. That one swung towards the back post, heads go up, it's down, and it's fired over. Navarro got a touch. There's only 15 seconds to go. They better hurry. They better hurry. And they are going to stop the clock here after there was potentially a little bit of gamesmanship to delay the taking of the corner from St. Thomas, who looked like they were delaying Occidental from getting the ball back and trying to swing the corner in. 10 seconds on the clock, so there will be time for the corner to be taken and potentially an equalizer to be scored. Swung in, left-footed it looks like, from Corcoran. Conversation here between Turner and the referee. Turner has certainly put himself about since coming into the game 5 minutes ago. Looking to be quite physical here. Not really looking at the ball whatsoever. Header goes up and Otero has to palm it away. And this will actually be a free kick. Otero is rolling around like he's been shot. And I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But at the end of the first half, St. Thomas didn't have many chances, but they took the one they had. Daniel Castro with a lovely piece of play, it must be said, was clinical in front of goal when he needed to be. And the University of St. Thomas lead 1-0 here over the Occidental Tigers at half-time. We'll step aside for the better part of 15 minutes and be back with you for the second half live on the Tiger Network.
And welcome back as we just about ready for the start of the second half. St. Thomas holding to the early 1-0 lead, and they will have the opening kick here to get us underway.
I think it's good for Occidental that looks like Uri Diane is back in, as is Chmielewski. I think when those two went off, Oxy lost a lot of the speed threat they had at the top end of the field and weren't able to really get much in behind this St. Thomas team. And we know St. Thomas will work hard to try and hang on to this one. They know if they can keep a clean sheet for the next 45 minutes, they have a date in the round of 32 with the Tigers and a berth in the Sweet 16 on the line.
I feel important for Occidental to remember that they don't need two at the moment.
Indeed.
They just need the one and then deal with everything from there. I've seen quite a few matches here in the postseason already go to extra time and PKs. So various ways of accomplishing your goal.
Schwartz trying to get himself involved and can't quite win it. It stays with St. Thomas.
He's going to award the throw rather than call the handball. And that'll work out fairly well for Occidental. Castro is trying to finesse his way through the back line. And it just poked away at the last moment. Bernard Lee now working the near side on your screen. Did an excellent job on the back line with control early on.
Carr able to steady that one. He finds Gianne quickly as Occidental try and spring a counter-attack. They've got more men in this attack than they've had in most, but that pass from Schwartz goes astray. Corcoran unable to get it. Castro fighting with Schwartz, and the Celts come off the better of it. Gomez and Gianne challenging, but Bernard Lee continues his aggressive play. Navarro and Bernard Lee run into each other. Down the far side come the Celts. He's poked it through there, Aleman, but I think the offside flag went up immediately down to our right.
Really interesting to see what Gianne and Chmielewski can do up top, because it feels like in the midfield, and particularly along the back line, St. Thomas is really starting to take the advantage with some of the speed that they have. So try to see if maybe they've got something at the top that they can counter with and then try to break through, because right now I think St. Thomas is just kind of having their way with the field possession, just where they want to put it.
A horde of fire trucks scream past us here in San Antonio. Genuinely not sure how anything could be on fire with all the rain we've had today.
They should be well saturated.
Gomez couldn't escape. Schwartz finds Gianne on the turn, gets a right-footed shot away, and what a save that is. Unbelievable save by Otero. He did not prevent the corner, but Gianne with a wonderful effort with his right foot, and Otero, to his credit, flings out his right hand and makes a fantastic save. Genuinely a great save there from Otero to keep the score 1-0 St. Thomas, because that was on the verge of being the equalizer for Occidental. And again, Gianne just proving to be a threat for the Tigers. Corner from the right, in towards the near post, headed down. That looks like another corner to me, and indeed signaled as such. I think it was Angel Ramirez, defensive header there. Interesting that Mansour has started the second half, as St. Thomas looking to maybe continue with the same lineup that finished the first half. Turner really not watching the ball there, swung in towards Otero, and he punches that one away. Schwartz able to win the tackle. And it's interesting, Turner's body position on that corner was entirely just shadowing his man. He wasn't looking at the ball whatsoever, just trying to get in the way and stop a run going through. You'd think that could be something that could be penalized as things go on throughout the day. Castro flicks it on. Here's Corcoran. Fires it down the line for Gianni, who will try and use his pace in behind. And it comes off Ramirez again for a throw-in to the Tigers. And Schwartz will try and line up another long throw.
Yeah, a little bit more room on that corner of the field. He can step back a little bit further than he can anywhere else on this pitch.
Schwartz flings it towards the near post. Otero did not come. Hooked back towards goal by Ailey. And that one is fired off Ailey. And out for a throw-in for St. Thomas. Castro, to his credit, the goal scorer, doing some defensive work there as well.
Once again, this will be a Oxy throw, but they're going to force Schwartz to come up line here towards midfield, about 8 to 10 yards.
Schwartz sling this one. Gets a great arc on that. And that looked like it was definitely a foul there by Ailey, who wasn't even looking at the ball himself that time. More just trying to clear St. Thomas players out the way. Nothing doing there as Gianni, trying to save some time, spots the ball. Otero with a dummy that didn't really make a whole lot of sense for the goalkeeper to be doing there. Not quite sure why he did that. That one is going to be a throw-in for Occidental on the far side. And again, I think the start of this second half, Josh, might show us the pattern for the rest of this game, with St. Thomas trying to defend this one-goal lead and Occidental challenged with breaking them down.
Yeah, I almost feel the next 5 to 10 minutes here are going to be crucial for Occidental.
That's flicked on into the box. Navarro took a swing at it. Gianni challenges for it, and there's Schwartz. Big appeals for handball, and a penalty's given. A penalty is given for the handball there. We're going to try and take another look at this, but it's a penalty for Occidental. I think it was Schwartz who gets his foot to it. It bounces up. It actually hits Chmielewski. And is that where it was given?
That's where it was called for. I don't... Seeing it broken down like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Real time, it actually looked more of a handball than anything else, but in that super slow motion, I didn't necessarily see it as much.
Exactly where the hand was. I don't know if we have a better angle. We'll take another look. Chmielewski there. That looks like knee. Was there hand before the knee?
Maybe right before it, right there.
I mean, I'll say St. Thomas didn't really complain.
No, and
they haven't really complained.
Yeah,
and that often tells
as it rolls forward, every hand goes up in unison. So everybody saw the same thing.
Well, it's going to fall to number 10, Joey Schwartz. He's been one of the brightest sparks for Occidental so far. It looks like there may have been a yellow card awarded there. Certainly the referee was writing in his notebook. But here's a chance for Schwartz and the Occidental Tigers to regain parity. Otero is playing every single mind game in the book. He's dancing on his line. This is not uncommon for St. Thomas's goalkeeping crew. Schwartz needs to put that aside and take his time with this one. Schwartz settles, and he's missed it on the rebound. Corcoran! What a moment that is. Christian Corcoran followed it in, and the defender from Derbyshire, England, has found the equalizer. Otero's antics managed to put Schwartz off. I mean, I think he was probably off his line when it was taken, but Corcoran reacted fastest and was able to put it away. Otero is beaten, and it's one apiece here in San Antonio.
Well, just as I said, the next 5 to 10 minutes were critical. They did it in the next 5 to 10 seconds, basically off of that penalty, and have drawn level. And let's see how that opens up this game a little bit. St. Thomas had been more okay with playing it towards the midfield and not really pushing forward. They definitely have the skill to push forward, but we hadn't seen it a whole lot. We'll see if that changes anything, and we'll see how Oxy can maybe bounce back. They came out of this match ready to go and push forward when it was 0-0. Let's see if they're ready to do it again.
You do wonder now just how scrappy this one might get for the remaining 37 minutes. A spot in the round of 32 is on the line. The Trinity Tigers await. Occidental needed to get level soon, and they did. It was a huge moment for them to restore parity, and Christian Corcoran with the goal. Here is Castro, who scored the opener for St. Thomas. No foul given there as Romero slides in. Gianni can't win the ball off Espinosa, but Schwartz, who saw his penalty save, does do. Ramirez is over there, pressured by Chmielewski. Navarro can't connect that pass, and Castro dances away from him before finding Mansour. Castro didn't even see the ball, but was able to control it somehow. He strides towards goal. Navarro puts a challenge in, but Castro maintains possession. Rodriguez on the far side. Shot comes in, takes a deflection. Appeals for handball from St. Thomas. I don't know if they're going to get that one back so quickly. And that one goes for a corner.
Vicente Navarro has come up big against Daniel Castro here in the last couple of trips down. St. Thomas attack side. Corner opportunity now for the Celts, having given up the lead.
Swung into the middle. Nyhan missed it. Oh, and it's blocked on the line. Blocked on the line. It's a corner kick. Castro fired that one goalwards. I think the Celts were asking for handball themselves. I definitely did not see an extended arm on that one. Felt like that was a natural body shape with his arms by his side. Corner for the Celts, though.
Yeah, I think it did look like the arms are down.
Good evening to former Tiger great Quentin Vanderlee. Appreciate you tuning in. A big delay here before this corner. Less than 35 minutes to play now. Swung in. Nyhan gets hands to that one. Looked like he might have been fouled. A weird attempt at an overhead kick. That shot's fired in again. And Nyhan, you have to say, has been a little bit erratic in coming for balls in his own area, but able to get that one under control as head coach Rod LaFury says, calm down, slow down, no rush. We're back level in this game. We don't need to score right this second. We don't have to throw everything forward, but Chmielewski is chasing down that right-hand channel. That's a very, very, very soft free kick given for a slight push by Chmielewski. Otero in goal. And Castro will flick it on. Espinosa challenging. You wonder how long it'll be before we see Tati Alaman back in the game for St. Thomas, as they will look to try and get another goal and retake the lead here. Karp forwards. Gianni challenged but was unable to get there. And Navarro just hammers that one away. Espinosa gets his feet in a tangle. Unable to keep that one in play. Throw in to Occidental down the right-hand side. Stanley being told to retreat in order to take this throw in, as I can now confirm that this drum on the far side is annoying me. I think I'm going to be hearing this in my sleep tonight.
Well, and fair point, they've added the Vuvuzela. So
Romero challenged for it and is adjudged to have fouled his man there. Bounced off the chest of Ramirez. So, half an hour to play, pretty much. Tied at 1 apiece. Otero and Ramirez discussing what to do with this free kick for St. Thomas. Looks like it's going to be sent long. Castro has pulled out on the right-hand side, and Mansour through the middle. Gianni there. That's very interesting that a foul was given against him. Not entirely sure how that was whistled that way. It's like a couple of subs for St. Thomas coming up. Daniel Flores getting ready to come into the action. Here's Bernard Lee. But that's well played by Ailey. Can he release Chmielewski? He has Gianni through the middle as well. It goes in that direction. Gianni can't quite control it off his chest. Chases down the second ball and does really well. Here's Schwartz. Out to the left, and Ailey approaching the box. Corcoran is busting a gut to try and get there in support, but Ailey attacks the end line. Swung in, headed up rather than out. There's Carr! And it's just wide on the volley. Ethan Carr ran onto it. The freshman from Mill Valley, California, just fired it wide of the goal, as Occidental definitely on top now.
And Carr might have had an opportunity to settle if he needed the time. But a rejuvenated Oxy's side here. And we'll see what substitutions for St. Thomas. Tati Alaman and Daniel Flores coming in. Italio Rodriguez and Daniel Espinosa having a seat.
So Alaman back in as St. Thomas look for it. Schwartz is throwing. Headed out to the edge of the box. Carr drives another one. That one's blocked. Back to Schwartz. He swings a right-footed cross towards the back post. Navarro wins it. Down to Ailey. Ailey with a shot! It's waved off. And this time, it's handball against Occidental. Ailey thought that he was about to give Occidental the lead. And I think it was cool. Yeah, it does bounce up and strike him on the arm, and fair enough. I think you can understand why that was given the way it was given. And now, as if by magic, that's a yellow card for Ailey immediately afterwards.
potential turning point here. Having the emotions of what you thought might have been the lead. Having the complete tide turn, and then now coming back still level, and then drawing the yellow card. So when I said that we needed to see something out of Oxy, now St. Thomas needs an answer.
Gianni, great play from him. He's got so much pace to burn. Gianni needs an overlap. It's Corcoran again, and at the back post, it's just wide. Forgive me, it was Ailey who got forward again from that right side, and his shot slash cross to the back post just evaded Chmielewski. Ailey getting forward. And it's just needed a little bit more outward curve back towards Chmielewski for a tap in for Occidental. Alaman pressuring Karp. Here is Carr. Occidental have taken control of this in the second half. Ailey trying to fight for that one, unable to recover it, and St. Thomas try and come the other way. That looked like a trip by Navarro on Flores, Daniel Flores, and indeed it was. So St. Thomas can try and relieve a little bit of the pressure. They've been under the cosh for much of this second half.
St. Thomas trying to flip the field, see if they can get anything move forward. It's been maybe 10 minutes since we've seen them offensively with something to show for it, but he's really turned it on. Now fighting through Flores. Gianni taking it away momentarily, and he goes down. We kept alive on that far side by the Tigers. Just played around the back line and resettled.
Karp looking diagonal for Corcoran, the goal scorer. That's a great ball. Corcoran able to get it under control, and that's an absolute clattering. Diego Lazo has to get a yellow card for that. He's come straight through Corcoran. Has to be a yellow card. No question about that whatsoever. Notta and Fiedelholtz about to come back in for Occidental. Free kick for Occidental. I don't actually think the foul was there where that ball is placed, but it's certainly going to give Occidental a better chance of swinging this one in. Aidan Ailey looking again like he's going to swing this one in. Ailey will cross it in towards the back post, headed out. Schwartz keeps it alive, lofted towards Karp. Lazo heads it as far as Corcoran. He thought about trying to bring that one down and hit it again. Will this one stay in bounds? And indeed it will not, as that's well shepherded out by Diego Lazo, who just got that yellow card. Looks like Bernard Lee is going to come back in for St. Thomas. Bernard Lee back in for Turner. And Ailey is going to take a break alongside Chmielewski, as both Kai Fiedelholtz and Andrew Notta have come back into the game for Occidental. Navarro heads it forward. Free kick given to St. Thomas there. I'm not quite entirely sure how that one happened, but it did.
Center official was tapping his forearm as if maybe it was a handball call. Cleared out. Once again, St. Thomas just not able to put together a couple of moments like they were early on.
It looked like a foul, but potentially some exaggeration of the contact as well. Schwartz being spoken to. And a stoppage of the clock with 24 minutes to play. Diego Lazo potentially trying to get somebody to join him in the yellow card club. Really not sure how that's ended up being a drop ball that has been taken by Occidental, but St. Thomas win it back very quickly. Coming forward, Mansour tries to play it inside to Lazo. Lazo absolutely left something on Ailey there.
And this is coming all the way from the backside.
It's actually Notta who's gone down, sorry, yeah, Notta. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one, but Notta very unhappy with Lazo, who needs to be careful. He's just been booked.
Ooh. You'll see it here. Lazo with the extra.
Off the ball, I mean, it didn't actually look like that.
I don't think it was
fair.
intentional. It looked like he just bumped into him off the side.
Yeah. St. Thomas will get it back. Here is Mansour looking for Aleman, who does well to shield Romero and feed it out to the left-hand side as St. Thomas try and break forward in a rare foray forward in this half, but Carr turns it away with a nice interception. Fiedelholtz putting some pressure on, and Gianne as well. Ball fired forward for St. Thomas. Karp brings it down calmly on his chest. Is going to be forced back by the pressure of Aleman, though. Nyhan drew a little bit of attention there, but able to get it away. Navarro wins the header. It's over Schwartz. And Bernard Lee wins another header. Bernard Lee has been fantastic at right back tonight, it has to be said. He's been great for St. Thomas down this right-hand side. They're firing that one forward, though, and Karp will let it go through to Riley Nyhan. Gianne challenges that one, wins the header, but only gives it to Mansour, who keeps it in, perhaps ill-advisedly. That's another foul by Lazo. Notta making a good effort there to keep that one in play. Lazo, he does need to be careful.
Yeah, should St. Thomas advance, they can't afford to lose any more with their typical starters. Already having one not in action today and won't be in action tomorrow, and they would really have to readjust their lineup.
Schwartz drives this one towards goal. Otero is unsure, but it bounces all the way through. Flying in at the back post was Fiedel-Holtz. He couldn't get the telling touch, and Otero was able to claim. Good concentration from the goalkeeper to make sure he got a hold of that one. Stanley trying to steal some yards, but unable to do so. Tyler Nanakornpanom getting ready to come back on. Schwartz. Romero. That's Karp. Looking forward towards the goal scorer, Corcoran. Instead, that's Schwartz. Mansour adjudged to have committed a foul from behind. Tony Castro getting ready to come back in for St. Thomas as well. Schwartz with his right foot. Otero able to get a hold of it.
Otero down for the second time today.
Yeah, wonder if there might be a necessity for a change.
We're going to bring on the trainers. Otero's waved them off.
Tony Castro.
Schwartz trying to find Fiedel-Holtz up front. St. Thomas will switch it around, see if they can get anything going offensively. We haven't seen it in the last 20 minutes, but now a run here from Daniel Castro, far side.
Into the box, great tackle from Navarro. He had to time that perfectly, Josh, and he did.
There's Navarro, probably the third or fourth really good play that he's made on Castro. Castro with a lot of speed, but can also create. And then not only do you have to worry about Castro's shot, as he proved earlier today, but if he could find Aleman with a pass, he's done that very efficiently all season long as well. But that was probably the first real chance that we've seen from the Celts last 20 minutes or so.
Absolutely. Diego Lazo and Daniel Flores coming off for St. Thomas. Fresh legs into the game for the Celts. Stanley gets there first. He's got Corcoran wide to his left if he can get there. Flores gets there first, however. But here is Schwartz. Great touch with the outside of his right foot. And he finds Corcoran down his left-hand side. Fiedel holds in the middle. That one goes to Notta. Taps it on. Nana Kornpanom. Shot blocked. That looks like a challenge. Is it outside the box? Either way, it's a corner. Thought that might have been a foul, but Nana Kornpanom went down, nothing doing, and it's a corner for the Celts. Excuse me, for the Tigers, trying to put pressure on the Celts.
For Occidental, Lucas Roberts.
Stanley getting a break. He's been great down that right-hand side for Occidental. Corner will be taken, looks like, by Schwartz's right foot, an outswinger. Occidental players in the box. Trying to attack it, headed clear though by St. Thomas. Corcoran in defensive shape, and Howlett does well there actually, just to help it back towards Nyhan, who's recovered from a couple of hairy moments. He's actually going to dribble that one back into his box, interestingly, and potentially now he could pick it up and punt it if he chooses to. And indeed he does. Nyhan rolls it out now and drives this one forward over the head of Carr. That one is sent for Castro to chase. He can't control it, and Karp will allow it to roll back through to his goalkeeper.
Both teams not willing to make that mistake here in the final 15. Being a little bit extra cautious.
Schwartz. As we tick towards those final 15 minutes Josh alluded to, Corcoran does brilliantly well to get past Bernard Lee. First time all day they've got past him. Fiedelholtz can't get there. Here's Schwartz. And Bernard Lee recovers well. St. Thomas trying to break here is Espinoza, looking for Castro on the left-hand side. Daniel Castro able to get there first. Plays it down the line. Aleman's making a run towards the near post. Castro gets it back on the edge of the box though. Tries to dance through. Carr wins the first one, can't win the second. Notta having to do some defensing. And that one is going to be a foul, and it looks like a yellow card there for Carr as he careened into, I think that was Alvarez on the far side, and indeed it is another yellow card here as these start to tally up in this game.
It'll be a third against Occidental, 3 against St. Thomas as well.
Ethan Carr into the book.
Angel Ramirez. Free kick.
Nyhan able to claim it. This one is bowled out to this left-hand side. Driving forward is Schwartz. Tries to play one down the channel for Kai Fiedelholtz, who will just about keep it in play. Nice nutmeg there, and that looked like a trip, but almost the ball had already gone, and the referee allowed it to go. Bernard Lee inside for Espinoza. Castro in the channel. He's managed to get away from Howlett. Castro still driving in towards the box. Karp has to make a challenge, and that's a good save by Nyhan. Daniel Castro looking threatening again for the Celts.
Be the fourth corner. Castro saw it in the first half. All it took was one break for him to turn it around and give the Celts the lead. Trying to do it again. Oxy's paying a lot of attention, deservedly so, to Aleman, but we need to take a moment and make sure that they've got Castro under control as well. Otherwise, St. Thomas could go up pretty quickly.
Flicked on and cleared away. Fiedelholtz nearly poked that through and they would have been in, but unable to do so. Here's Bernard Lee. Swung to the back post and headed away by Corcoran. Corcoran does really well and wins it. And there's a chance for a break on Nana Kornpanom. He gets past one, but the tackle from Ramirez was able to send that one out of play.
They're going to say Oxy throw off the deflection. In case we're having the fourth AR helps, because AR down on that far side was attending to. Who's that? Diego Castro, I believe. No. Yeah, Daniel Castro. And so the sub will come for the injury. It'll be Daniel Flores in for Daniel Castro.
Hacked clear. Carr wins that header. That drops to the feet of Espinoza. Here's Alvarez on the far side. There's Garcia in support. Drives inside. Looking to try and find a ball to Aleman, but unable to do so, and Alvarez just keeps possession. He gets past Carr, though, with a lovely turn of pace, but the ball went out of play. And it will be an Occidental throw-in on the far side. And with less than 12 minutes to play, we do have to ask if we might be heading for overtime again in our second game today, just as we did in our first, between the Tigers of Trinity and UT Dallas. Aleman, great touch to bring that under control. Trying to relieve some of the pressure that the Celts have been under here. Romero steps in and slides in with a great tackle there. Notta, he has Nana Kornpanom on the far side, tried to find Fiedelholtz on the near, and the ball was cut out. Good defending there. Believe that was Juan Gomez. Fiedelholtz wins a throw-in. Not entirely sure exactly what happened there. Karp and Navarro having to slide in, and that's a great tackle by Romero. And Schwartz again. I mean, right now, Occidental appear to be first to everything. Bernard Lee clears that one forward. Schwartz, who's been a bright spot throughout for Occidental, not quite able to keep that one in play. That one is dragged wide. Aleman was lurking. St. Thomas trying to find a way to pull ahead again here.
With Castro being on the sideline now, weight and the pressure falls on the shoulders of Tati Aleman. Not to say that St. Thomas doesn't have other good options, but the one you count on.
Yeah. With Castro out, Aleman's definitely the one you're looking for if you're St. Thomas trying to find a goal here to avoid overtime. But they've shown, as we know, that they can go through overtime and 2 penalties and find a way to be successful with their defensive shape. That one goes back to Otero. Fiedel-Holtz is going to put some pressure on him. And it looks like Diane is ready to come back in. Diane is going to replace Fiedel-Holtz, I believe. Free kick for St. Thomas, swung into the box. Headed away by Corcoran, who's been great since his introduction. Carr has to close it down on the far side, but doesn't immediately do so. And St. Thomas able to bring the ball closer to the goal. They will now recycle it. Hammered forward in the direction of Tony Castro. And that one's fired only as far as Bernard Lee. Espinoza into Aleman. That's a lovely turn away. Able to find a pass. Headed clear. Scrappy right now. Scrappy period of play. Tony Castro looking to try and find a shot or feed it into Aleman. Unable to do so. Here's Bernard Lee approaching the penalty area. Shifts it. Driving into the box. Bernard Lee going a long way. Somehow manages to hold on to the ball until eventually his pocket is picked. And that one was fired forward quickly, but just in the wrong direction. They couldn't get it to Fiedel-Holtz. Sam Jenkins also coming back into the game for Occidental as they look to try and find a way to win this one in regulation. Driving here is Bernard Lee on the right-hand side, though. It's just too high for Aleman. And Naihan comes all the way out of his goal to corral that for the Tigers.
Castro now approaching the center substitution area, so he'll look to check back in. And for Oxy, Sam Jenkins saw action in the first half. And Max Stanley also looking to check back in as well. So maybe a push from each side on the final 5.
Yeah, 6.5 minutes to go. Both teams trying to get back to what looks like full strength for the final push here. Corcoran with his right foot. That's easily intercepted though by Angel Ramirez. Tony Castro can't keep it. Romero hacks it forward and Bernard Lee away. Corcoran again. That's a shank off the boot of Gomez. And the Tigers have it back. Here's Carr. Plays it down into that channel looking for Fiedel-Holtz, who challenges with Diego Garcia. That one's sent forward and bounces over the head of Carr. Tati Aleman away from Romero. Aleman, and it's a great save by Naihan. Aleman with a chance to try and steal this for St. Thomas, but Naihan stood tall.
Fantastic there from Naihan. We talked about Aleman needing to come up with something, and that was a great break, great run. And almost was able to get the secondary shot back too, as it was cleared out.
So Notta, Fiedel-Holtz and Carr take a break for Occidental. They have all given their all, exhausted as they come off. 5 minutes to play here. Throw in coming for St. Thomas from that far side. Lands on the head of Stanley, who turns it away. Jenkins chases it down. That one's fired back towards goal. Went through a pile of bodies, seemingly. I don't think Nyhan saw that until it was almost too late, but thankfully for Occidental, it went just wide of the post and nearly a free goal for St. Thomas.
Yeah, and Aleman had a electric, say, professional level goal here against Trinity 2 weeks ago into that same net. Shot it with such power that it was a surprise to almost everybody how quickly it got into the back of the goal, and that one almost very similar. Bernard Lee doing a great job to keep that one from going into the corner. And they'll get the goal kick. Occidental, fortunate that they weren't hit with a foul.
Otero will take this one, although he now decides to just roll it to Ramirez, who can play it around Janae. To Bernard Lee, who looks for Castro in the channel. Castro gets his body there first and picks the pocket of Navarro. Nicely done. Stanley has to step out, and it goes out to the far left. Castro making a move into the box, and he nearly won it. That was brilliant play from Castro.
And Navarro very fortunate there, as he tried to do a little bit more with that initial possession, didn't quite have it. And Celts almost capitalizing off of that mistake.
2 minutes and 44 seconds to play until we head to overtime. Romero. Can either team fashion a chance to win it? Or will Castro's opportunity there go down as the last chance in regulation? Navarro to Romero. Looking down the channel. Nana Kornpanom, can he keep it in? He can't. And that one will just trickle behind for a goal kick with 2 minutes to play. Otero will clear this with a little over 90 seconds to play. Schwartz jumps, but Castro flicks it on. Romero only to the feet of Castro. That's really nice hold-up play by Nana Kornpanom. And here is Janae, who's been so electric going forward. Into Nana Kornpanom. Chance to win it. He goes down. Nothing given. It's in! It's Janae! And he's won it surely with 1 minute and 18 seconds left on the clock. Occidental take the lead. We thought there was a shout for a penalty. Janae broke forward, found Nana Kornpanom. I think Bernard Lee potentially here. I mean, that looks like a foul to me. But Janae didn't wait. He got the ball back and he fired a brilliant finish into the far corner. And Uri Janae has surely won it for Occidental. Aleman back in the game, but St. Thomas know there's just 1 minute and 18 seconds left for them to save their season. Occidental are 78 seconds away from the round of 32 and a date with Trinity.
8th goal of the season for Janae, and none bigger.
A huge moment, an absolutely huge moment. We all know the biggest prize, and really the only prize that matters, is the national championship. And it looks like Occidental are going to be carrying on their pursuit of one tonight. Navarro, I mean, Corcoran was in behind there and was screaming for the pass, but intelligently Occidental trying to run these seconds down now. Karp just looking to get it forward. Jenkins unable to corral it though, and it's coming straight back the other way, fired forward in the direction of Aleman. Romero gets there first, and he wins the second one as well, but he's given away a free kick. And St. Thomas will have a chance to load the box with 35 seconds to play. Angel Ramirez, and even the goalkeeper's going up Otero here. Diego Garcia will take the free kick. Keeper's forward. Header is up. Looks like that will go for a corner. Naihan actually takes it and clears it immediately, which is intelligent. Looking to try and get it forward. Nana Kornpanon putting pressure on. Final 10 seconds, it's headed away. And it looks like that'll do it. Hooked back in. Corcoran can clear it. And the Occidental Tigers are on to the round of 32. Occidental 2, St. Thomas 1 is the final score here. Uri Jane's winner in the 89th minute was enough. And the Tigers of Occidental eliminate the Celts of St. Thomas and will move on to play the host institution, Trinity University, tomorrow in the round of 32 for a place in this year's Sweet 16.
Award ceremony. Occidental advances to the second round tomorrow.
Occidental with 2 goals here in the second half, and really just had the attacking form pretty much from the onset. St. Thomas had maybe 2-3 chances here in the second half that they really pushed forward, and not too much more of an opportunity than that. And see the game winner, Gianni.
Now they're crying. Now they're crying.
Well, that will do it for us here on the Tiger Network. We have seen 2 games tonight. Trinity defeating UT Dallas in penalties 9-8 after a 2-2 draw. And at the end of this one, Occidental will move on. 2-1 victory over St. Thomas. And tomorrow night, Trinity versus Occidental, 7 p.m. Central, for a place in the Sweet 16. For our wonderful Tiger Network production crew, for Josh Mojigemba, and I've been Callum Squires. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again soon, live on the Tiger Network.